It's time for us now to hear from our senior speaker, Ms. Thana Hassan El-Sallabi. Thana embodies what it is to be a Georgetown student. She is responsible, innovative, and caring. Thana has made her mark both on Georgetown's Qatar campus and DC campus, getting involved in the Honor Council, Model United Nations, and Georgetown's Sanctuary Movement. She will remain part of the Hoya family next year as she completes her accelerated master's program in Global, International, and Comparative History at Georgetown's Washington, D.C. campus. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Thana El-Sallabi to the stage.
Honorable Dean, esteemed guests, faculty and staff, parents and friends in the graduating class of 2017. Hello and assalamu alaikum. Congratulations to the class of 2017 for graduating tomorrow. I think we deserve a round of applause for that one. Now, I know many of us are nostalgic as we contemplate walking across the stage tomorrow and ending our college careers. I want to flip things around a bit in this speech by beginning with endings and ending with beginnings, because I feel like that's what graduation is about, endings and beginnings intertwined into a beautiful memory. Tomorrow will be the ending of the times when most of us can go up to Taimur or Naveed asking for an econ question help, or ending the times that we can guarantee we'll see Maryam, Zareen, and Joycena being absolutely awesome in a choreographed Bollywood routine at open mic night, ending the times that we can just go up to each other and have a full-blown existential crisis, questioning the value of this education in a time where almost everyone is telling us we're probably going to be unemployed, only to be reminded that it's all going to be okay and not to worry too much by Abdurrahman Kamil. Ending the questions about the value of our education when we see countries surrounding us in this region sinking into the grasp of civil war, and having those questions answered by each other, finding something hopeful to look for in each other and hopefully to use our degrees for. Ending the games of basketball where we see Aya and Nicole scoring awesome shoots, and ending the times we guarantee awesome football games from Umar and Fahid in their football games, and ending the 5 or 6 Barneeb games in the atrium every day. But while we're still nostalgic, let's take a flashback to orientation. Now, I ask the class of 2017 to please close your eyes. Remember being ushered into OA 11 by NSO orientation advisors as they sang the fight song for what seemed like the 50th time that day? Remember sitting down as this tall Indian man with a ponytail walks in. Now, we all know him as Uday Rosario. Remember that lecture he gave us on how school stifles education, a rather ironic speech considering we were just starting our first week of university. But he ended that speech saying we weren't here to study international economics or international politics or culture and politics or international history. Rather, we were here to study service. And he wrote service in really big letters across the board in OA 11. Now please open your eyes with that image in mind. The underlying message that we've been taught in all of our classes, ranging from theology and philosophy to government and history and economics, has been about service. But within service, we learn a couple of other lessons. The first, and I think the most important, is that people matter, period. People are not statistics or numbers on screens. People are not theoretical functions we try to understand, and that approach is beyond problematic. And we've learned that from each other, from our class discussions. Everything we study relates to people. We study how people make decisions, and how such decisions, ranging from small acts of resistance to large decisions leading to war, impact the lives of everyday people. While we may not study psychology or anthropology directly, we study the ways in which people decide to interact with the world around them. Ranging from empires and emperors to colonizers and colonies to the post-colonial hangover many of our countries suffer from, to development economics to the UN and the anarchy in which it operates, we've had amazing class discussions that have discussed how we and others have made decisions. Now, it is specifically because people matter that 2 years ago I decided to major in international history. I understood the reason that the SFS requires everyone to take 3 courses of history at minimum was to teach us to get history right. Now, getting history right is not about getting to the raw facts, though that is important. As my professors have taught me over the years, getting history right is about honing our ability to understand the worldview and the decisions and the decision-making processes of the people before us. It exercises our ability to interact with people who have lived before us. And if we can learn to understand those who are dead, those who have lived 2 centuries ago, how can we not learn to understand those who are different to us today? The stakes of learning history are not about what happened 2 centuries ago, but rather the stakes are for today. We live in a world where a man with no regard for anyone but himself is the president of the most powerful country in the world. The scary part is that this is not something happening in the US alone. We're witnessing as the rise of populist movements are sweeping the globe, and we're faced with a choice. We can choose to be passive observers of history or active civil servants who choose to see global challenges as opportunities for us to leave our mark upon. As we hold our degrees tomorrow that quite literally say the word service on them, let us ask, how will we serve the world? I acknowledge that it seems like an overwhelming question, but it ceases to intimidate me personally when I look around at this room. I see people who have been role models to me and people who I know will be role models to others in the future. I want the class of 2017 to look to each other and notice everyone who's inspired you over the past 4 years. Notice the people who have helped you, notice the people who have served their countries, served this community, and people who have left their mark upon the world already at such young ages. I'm sure we will all leave another mark as we leave. I want to make sure to thank you, wonderful parents in the room. You have worked tirelessly to make sure you see us to this point. Mama and Baba, thank you for bearing with the anxiety attacks caused by the 25-page papers and the econ exams. Thank you for tolerating my existential crises where I debated the point of my studies when my country was in a civil war. Thank you for teaching me about ethics. Thank you for being my support system up to this point. For standing with me when things were hard and reminding me to stay humble when things were well. Reminding me of God's blessings up to this point. The other group of people who has served our class that I think deserves thanking is our wonderful professors. Thank you for believing in us inside and outside the classroom, helping us find our own voices and sharing those voices with the world through our writing and through our speaking. Thank you for teaching us to question the constructs that many take as facts. Now, I also want to thank the amazing staff members who have helped us deal with the very high demands of our amazing professors. As I end this speech, I want to think of the beautiful beginnings we will embark upon tomorrow, all over the world. But I want us to always question the same question that I had in the middle of the speech. How will we actively serve this world and the global community? Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2017.